How do you calculate variations during a king attack? Have you ever found yourself in a position where you want to launch a king attack but are unsure how to calculate your variations? Let's break it down step by step to help you navigate this exciting aspect of chess. First, you need to identify forcing moves. These are moves that limit your opponent's responses, like checks, captures, or direct threats. By focusing on these, you simplify your calculations since your opponent has fewer options to consider. For instance, if you check the enemy king or capture a key defender, it forces a specific reply, making it easier to plan your next moves. Next, evaluate the safety of the enemy king. The king's zone includes the squares it can reach and additional squares in front of it. Assign values to the pieces attacking this zone. Knights and bishops are moderate attackers, while rooks are stronger, and queens are the most powerful. By multiplying the number of attacked squares by these piece values, you can gauge the strength of your attack. This evaluation helps you decide if your attack is likely to succeed or if you need to prepare more. Now let's assess the tactical resources and defenses your opponent has. Look for defenders, potential counterattacks, and pawn shields around the king. Identifying weaknesses, like undefended pawns or overloaded defenders, will help you focus your calculations on critical targets. When calculating variations, start with the most forcing moves and follow each possible response from your opponent. Consider checks that drive the king into vulnerable squares or limit its mobility. Look for captures that remove key defenders or gain material advantage. Evaluate threats that create multiple problems for your opponent, such as simultaneous attacks on the king and other pieces. For each branch of your variation tree, assess the resulting position's safety and material balance. A structured calculation method can be very helpful. Use a three-step approach. First, identify the opponent's threats. Second, observe your tactical resources, including checks, captures, and threats. Finally, calculate the forcing moves and their consequences. This method ensures you do not overlook any critical defensive or offensive possibilities during your king attack. Consider the difference between dynamic and static advantages. During a king attack, dynamic advantages like piece activity and initiative often outweigh static factors such as material count. Your calculations should focus on the immediate pressure on the king and the potential for forcing continuations rather than longer-term positional considerations. Finally, when you calculate, always look for moves that force the opponent's king into a worse position or create mating nets. For example, a rook sacrifice to open lines toward the king or a queen check that drives the king into a corner can be decisive. Continue calculating the sequence of checks, captures, and threats until you reach a position where the opponent has no good defense or your attack results in material gain or checkmate. Calculating variations during a king attack involves focusing on forcing moves, evaluating the strength of your attack, observing tactical resources, and systematically calculating all forcing continuations. This approach helps you find the most promising attacking lines while avoiding missed defensive resources from your opponent.